Good morning, students. Today we are going to discuss more about respiration in organisms from chapter 10. Now let us go to breathing. Breathing means taking in air rich in oxygen and giving out carbon dioxide. The taking in of air rich in oxygen into our body is called inhalation. When we breathe in the air containing oxygen inside our body, that is called inhalation. And if we give out air rich in carbon dioxide from our body, then it is known as exhalation. This inhalation and exhalation is a continuous process which goes on all the time and throughout the life of an organism. As long as the organism is alive, then inhalation and exhalation process will continue. But once the organism dies, then this inhalation and exhalation process will stop. The number of times a person breathes in 1 minute is termed as breathing rate. During breathing, inhalation and exhalation take place alternately. This inhalation and exhalation doesn't take place simultaneously, doesn't take place at the same time. Inhalation will be followed by exhalation, and exhalation will be again followed by inhalation. So it takes place alternately. A breath means one inhalation plus one exhalation. On an average, an adult human being at rest breathes in and out 15 to 18 times in a minute. When the person is at rest, then that person will breathe in and out for about 15 to 18 times in a minute. But if the person is walking, running, do some exercise, then the breathing rate may increase. Now let us go to how do we breathe. Okay. When we breathe in, the air rushes through our nostril and come to nasal cavity. From nasal cavity, the air will pass through larynx. Larynx is also known as voice box. From there, the air will rush to this trachea called windpipe, and from there they will go to bronchus on both right and left side, and from there they will reach on both sides of the lungs. Below the lungs and heart there is a muscle seat, okay, called diaphragm. When we breathe in air, okay, during inhalation, the air from outside will rush inside the body. When the air rushes inside the body, the ribs moved out, and the diaphragm, the muscular seat that is situated below our heart and lung, will also move down. But when we breathe out air from our body, then the ribs move back to its original position, and even the diaphragm moves back to its original place. Now let us go to what do we breathe out. We might be thinking when we breathe in only oxygens go inside our body, and when we breathe out only carbon dioxide moved out of the body. But that is not the case. During inhalation, there are other gases that enter along with the oxygen. These are the percentage. Nitrogen 28%, oxygen 21%, argon gas 0.9%, carbon dioxide 0.04%, okay, and water is nil. So these are some of the gases that enter along with oxygen when we breathe in. And when we breathe out, Okay, those gases also come out along with carbon dioxide, and these are the percentage given. Breathing in other animals. Let us go to cockroach. A cockroach has a small opening on the side of its body called spiracles. Look at the picture here. Okay, there is a space here. These are small openings, and this opening is called spiracle. These spiracles are present not only in cockroach but also in other insects. The body has a network of air tubes called trachea for gas exchange. Okay, look here, trachea. If you look at the picture, you see so many lines passing through the body. These lines is called trachea or air tube. Oxygen-rich air rushes through spiracles into the tracheal tubes. Okay, during breathing, the oxygens will rush from outside inside the body of this cockroach through this opening called spiracles, and from there they will come to this trachea, air tube. From there, the oxygens will diffuse into the body tissue, and from there it will be transported to every cell of the cockroach body. Similarly, in the same way, the carbon dioxide from cells goes into the tracheal tubes and moves out through spiracle. The carbon dioxide will be produced by the cockroach. So the carbon dioxide, okay, will go to the trachea, and from trachea they will move out through spiracles. Let us go to earthworm. Earthworms breathe through skins. If you look at the skin of an earthworm, okay, they are moist, wet and slippery in touching. So the gases can pass easily through this skin. So this is how oxygen and carbon dioxide exchange take place. The oxygens will simply pass through this skin and move inside, and carbon dioxide from inside the body will simply pass out through the skin and move out of the body. Though frogs have a pair of lungs like human beings, they can also breathe through the skin, which is moist and slippery. Breathing underwater. Fish as an example. Gills in fish help them to use dissolved oxygen in water. Some amount of oxygens are dissolved in the water, and fish will use that dissolved oxygen during respiration. Now the gills are well equipped with blood vessel for exchange of gases. Water will rush through mouth and it will go to the gills, and from there the dissolved oxygens will be picked up by the gill and supplied to every part of the body in fish. Now let us go to next topic, that is, do plants also respire? Yes, being a living being, plants also respire for their survival. During respiration, they take in oxygen from the air and give out carbon dioxide. And in the cell, this oxygen is used to break down the glucose into carbon dioxide and water, as in other organisms. Remember aerobic respiration. In aerobic respiration, the oxygens go to the cells and help in breaking down the glucose into carbon dioxide and water. So that happens in plant as well. The leaves of the plant have tiny pores called stomata, okay, for exchange of oxygens and carbon dioxide. So during respiration, the oxygens will move inside the plant, okay, through this stomata opening, okay, and the carbon dioxide will move out, okay, through this stomata opening. Even the roots also need energy to generate energy, need oxygen to generate energy. Okay, roots take up air from the air spaces present between the soil particles. Now look here. This is the picture of root. Now there are these brown colors are the soil particle, and between these brown colors or soil particle there is an empty space, and these space are filled up with air, and the root will pick up the oxygen from these air spaces and generate energy. So that's all for today. Thanks for watching.